Welcome to Champion Minded, the podcast for those who aim for excellence, not only in the sports arena, but in life. My name is Allistair, author, speaker, mindset and performance coach. And my goal is to help you unleash your unlimited potential and provide you with the tools to achieve greatness. Are you ready to become champion minded? Then let's do this. Hey everybody, welcome to it, episode 6 of the Champion Minded podcast. I'm Allistair and great to have you with me. This week I'm coming to you from Vail, Colorado, where the US Snowboarding Championships are taking place this week. And it should be super exciting because they've just come back from the Winter Olympics, so they're in top shape. Quite a contrast coming from home, Fort Lauderdale, where it's a few degrees warmer. And I say that with tongue in cheek. Last week was the beach volleyball series there, the professional series, and that was super exciting to see some of the best players in the world, see how they operate, see how they prepare, the habits, the routines, and of course the teamwork. And that is what this episode is all about. It's about the 10 traits to being a great teammate. And I know a lot of coaches out there, especially college coaches, have asked me to do a podcast on this one, and well, here it is, the 10 traits to being a great team player. So number one, let's get straight into it. Number one, they put the team first. And when they put the team first, that means they leave their egos at the door. They're not concerned about themselves. They're not concerned about their starting position, regardless if they're starting on the bench or they're starting out on the field, on the court, but they know that the coach's decisions and the leadership decisions are the best for the team, and they respect it. But they put the team first. A great team player thinks about others. They're thoughtful about their teammates. They're always looking around to see who they can energize, inspire, support, but they're not thinking about themselves, and they're taking care of others around them. And again, there's nothing worse than seeing a player who has maybe been substituted off the field or off the court, or is on the bench, and they're sitting there moody, or they're upset, they're not cheering for the team. That is not a great team player. A great team player is bringing energy. And one of the things you see in some of the best NBA basketball teams, those guys, when they get on the bench, they support enthusiastically, regardless who they are. So that's a great example to see. The second thing in a great trait of a team player is they bring a great energy and they inspire others. That is so important. And, especially when you're in a team environment, it almost becomes like family. You're traveling together, you're practicing together, you're staying at hotels together, all these things. It becomes a family, but great team players bring a great energy. That is so important, especially with long seasons. Nobody wants to be around someone that's moody. No one wants to be around someone that's got a poor energy, poor attitude. Great team players, even though they might have sometimes bad days, they might have be going through things in their life, they still are able to bring a great energy to practice or to matches or wherever it may be. So that's the second thing. The third thing in a great team player is that they get to practice before time. Notice I say before time, not on time. We talk about the Lombardi time, where Vince Lombardi, the legendary football coach, expected his players to be at practice 15 minutes before. And why is that? Because so they could be prepared. Some guys want to talk or girls want to talk before practice, that's fine. But as long as they were there before time. So, make yourself leave early, prepare early, make time, or should I say put aside time for red traffic lights or interruptions or whatever it may be, but get to practice before time. It is a great trait you can have, regardless what it may be, for team meetings. One day you're probably going to go for a job interview, and I know, speaking to some CEOs, they check what time applicants get to appointments or get to interviews, and that is a quality that I promise you will get you very far, is arriving before time. It's also a sign of respect as well, being prepared. Also, coming before time can give you a chance to put some extra work in, and we all know that champion-minded players, champion-minded athletes do more. They do the extra. In the Champion Minded book, I talk about the 15-90, being able to do 15 minutes extra every day, be it working on whatever it may be. If you're in tennis, it's a serve, or it's in soccer, it's a free kick, or whatever it may be, you're working on that skill. And that adds up to 90 hours at the end of the year. But get to practice before time. Be prepared. Number 4 of a great team player, they always give their best. They always bring their best. Again, it's impossible to perform at your peak every single day. But, that might not be a controllable. But a controllable is the attitude you bring to practice or to your match or whatever it may be every day. Attitude is a choice. Every morning you wake up, you get to choose your attitude, regardless of your circumstances. You get to choose your attitude. You get up in the morning, you put your clothes on, you brush your teeth, you have breakfast. During that process, you are priming your mindset, you're priming your body for peak performance. That is what a champion-minded athlete does. They're priming themselves for the day ahead. They're priming their attitude. They're taking a good attitude. They're bringing a good attitude. They bring a great effort. Regardless of the result, win or lose, they always bring their best effort. And this is something that coaches look for continuously, is, are you bringing your best effort? Coaches understand that you can't be at the best of your game all the time, but they expect and they want from you to bring your best attitude. That is a controllable. Your work ethic. How is your work ethic? Another controllable. Are you outworking your opponents? Are you outworking your teammates? Not to be getting one over them, but understand that you will inspire your teammates when you work harder. When you're asking coach for some extra drills after practice, whatever it may be, that inspires and pulls your teammates to want to do better. And that is how a team grows and gets better together. Your standards. A great team player has high standards. The team might have a certain culture, they might have their values and their standards, but a great team player exceeds those standards. They don't let things get in the way. They don't let distractions get in the way of their standards. They make things happen. Number 5 in a great team player is that they are coachable. They are hungry for feedback. And I think there's no better example than Steph Curry, who's in the NBA, who's been the MVP player. Steph said he wants to be told how he can be better. He asks coaches, Steve Kerr, who's at the Warriors at the moment, he asks Steve Kerr every single day, Steve, how can I get better? What do I need to do to get better? And that is from the MVP, one of the best players in the world. He's humble, he's hungry, he's a great communicator. You'll find that great team players are great communicators. They crave feedback. They don't take feedback personally. That is so important to know. When your coach is giving you feedback or criticism or however you want to take it, they're looking at your skills. They're looking at your potential, and you have to understand that, and you have to take that to heart. You aren't coachable if you don't listen. You're not coachable if you think you know it all, or you think you're better than the next person. That is not a coachable athlete. So become coachable. Drop the ego. Learn to communicate well. Learn to listen well. A great team player is a great listener. Okay, so number 6. Great team players are grateful for every opportunity. They are grateful for what they do. They are grateful for their teammates. They're grateful for their facilities. They're grateful for their family support. They're grateful for the people around them that support them through the good and bad. One of the things I do each morning in my morning routine is I think of 2 things that I'm grateful for each morning, and I write them down. I journal them, I write them down. I can tell you that is such a shift in my mindset that gets me prepared for the day, but just to be thankful, to be thoughtful, to be grateful for the people around me and the things I have, regardless how small they are. And I encourage you to practice gratitude. It really is an incredible thing that can just shift your mindset and make you just see how how many blessings there are in your life. So be grateful. Number 7 in a great team player is that they protect their culture. They don't allow for gossip in the team. And as we know, in team environments, there's going to be some decisions made. There's going to be some disagreements, and that's normal in a team environment. However, great team players don't allow for gossip. They stand up for the culture. They protect the culture. They protect the behaviors within the culture. They're not afraid to call out fellow teammates and say, hey, that is not how things are done around here, in a respectful manner, of course. And, the best teams in the world, the best cultures are where the players are accountable and responsible for the culture. I'll say that again. The best teams in the world are where the players are accountable and responsible. They protect their culture. They're not looking at the coach the whole time to speak to a player or to reprimand or whatever. The players are doing it themselves. And let me ask you right now, you as a player, are you stepping up for your culture? Or are you stepping back and waiting for someone else to do that? Protecting the culture also means respect. Respecting of fellow teammates, respecting of coaches' decisions, respecting of your facilities. What about your locker rooms? Towels on the floor, papers, bottles, whatever it may be, do you pick them up? Or do you have an attitude of, well, that's not mine, so I don't need to pick that up? Well, here in great team cultures, everyone picks up the trash. Everyone picks up the towels, regardless who dropped them, who left them. And, again, if we look at the All Blacks rugby team, for example, one of their principles is to leave the locker room in a better way than they found it. And after matches, after competition, the best players in the team, they're the ones who lead the cleanup of the locker rooms. So how are you leaving locker rooms? When you leave a visitor's facility, how are you leaving that? Because those are the things you're going to be remembered for. Not the result, but your behaviors. How are your behaviors when you go to another facility, when you play another team? Are you representing your culture with pride, with dignity? So that's something you can maybe look at as well. Number 8 in the 10 traits of a great team player is that great team players present themselves as champions. They look like champions. They dress like champions. They act like champions. They look like champions. And, those things can cover body language, the body language on the court, the body language on the field. How is that? How are you developing your habits in practice? Because come competition time, you become your habits, and body language is one of those. When you're traveling, or when you're in the airport, when you're at a hotel, when you're at a restaurant, how are you representing your team? Are you representing your team as champions? Or are you misbehaving or maybe not acting in the correct way? What about manners? Letting people come out of the elevator, helping people with bags, whatever it may be, or being respectful in the lobby. All these things count for your culture, or can count against your culture. Again, these are things that shouldn't be up to the coach. These should be things that are up to the players. To call each other out respectfully and say, hey, listen, that's not how we behave, that's not how we do things around here. So that's what a great team player does. Number 9, great team players are accountable and responsible. They're accountable for their own preparation. They're accountable for their own behaviors. They're accountable for the extra work they put in. They're accountable for their performances in practice, their performances on the field or during competition. Here's the thing. A coach doesn't need to babysit players. A coach doesn't need to coach energy or behaviors. That is, as Coach Gino Oriamo of UConn says, that is on you, the player. Are you accountable and responsible? Energy doesn't need to be wasted on talking to players about behaviors, talking to players about cleaning up the locker room, talking to players about bringing the right uniform, about bringing the right shoes, about being on time. Be accountable. Step up for your team. And again, call out other athletes or players that might keep you behind or keep you late or don't live up to the standards of the team. It shouldn't be on the coach. It shouldn't be on the coach all the time. And number 10 in the 10 traits of a great team player, great team players aim to leave a legacy. One day when you leave the team, or you leave the college, or you leave the club, what legacy are you going to leave? Because we all leave a legacy. It's something I talk to about with professional athletes. What legacy are you going to leave? Some people might not remember your results, your accolades, the medals you won, the trophies you won, the championships you won. But they're going to remember how you made them feel. They're going to remember you as a person. How were you as a person? Did you energize others? Did you give back? Were you humble? Were you well prepared? Did you have a high work ethic? These are the things people are going to remember you by, not by the scores, by the championships. And these are things that you're going to take with you. So, if you're in a team right now, you're in a college, whatever it may be, you have the opportunity today to change things, to turn things around. What legacy are you going to leave behind? How are your teammates going to remember you? How are the fans going to remember you? How are your classmates going to remember you? How would you like your family to remember you? You have that opportunity right now. So, those are the 10 traits of a great team player. I'll go through them again just quickly. Number 1, they put the team first. Number 2, they energize and inspire fellow teammates. Number 3, they get to practice before time, not on time. They come prepared. Number 4, they always give their best in attitude, effort, work ethic, standards, values, whatever it may be. They contribute to the team. Number 5, they're coachable. They value feedback. They're hungry for feedback. They communicate well. They want to get better every day. They're willing to do what it takes. Number 6, they are grateful for every opportunity. They know that not everybody is in a privileged position to be in a team environment or to be playing sports, so they're grateful. They realize that. Number 7, they protect their culture, which is a big one. Number 8, they present themselves as champions. They act, look, dress, think, talk, communicate like champions. Number 9, they're accountable for themselves. And number 10, they aim to leave a legacy. So that's it. Another episode in the bag. Thank you so much for joining me this week. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends, teammates, family, fellow coaches, anyone who might benefit from this message and who wants to create excellence in their lives. Also, get on over to iTunes, subscribe, and leave a review. Thank you so much to those who have done that already. I appreciate it. I'm also on the YouTube channel of Champion Minded Podcast. And if you want to connect on social media, I'm at Twitter at Allistair McCaw, Instagram Be Champion Minded, Facebook McCaw Method, and if you want to send me an email, suggestions, feedback, whatever's on your mind, you can do that at mccawmethod@aol.com. Also, a big thank you to all of you who share the message on social media under the hashtag ChampionMinded. I love seeing your photos, love seeing your quotes and your feedback. And please, please, please share the message. Remember, you were meant for greatness, so go out and do the work. Until next time, stay champion-minded, my friends.